becomes a stash. It's just as good as you have stashed that money under the mattress and it's not on the table where the other spouse can see it and know kuti tine mari mumba munomu. So ndo mastasha tinawo iwayo. So there are obviously good reasons and there are bad reasons why people stash, and there are also advantages and disadvantages of stashing money in marriage, particularly in a marriage. Number one reason that comes to mind, Vikendi, is nyaya yekuti someone is keeping a stash because they know schools are opening soon. The new term is around the corner. We are going to be needing fees, and they will stash some money, and they've got an objective. Imari yema fees cannot imari yekutenga stand, cannot imari yekutenga imba. And paino rwadza manje for the other spouse, especially if the other spouse is a spender, kana uti is a risk taker. Asangana ne diri rine msoro ene parungodiwa 10k apa mwaka akasungira 10k achiti ndiye school fees kana ndiye kutenga stand. Zvinomurwadza stereki zvokuti anoita hasha, kuti but she had or he had the money when I needed to get into this deal. So there are stashes like that. Ekuti ndiye mari emba kana kuti ndiye ma school fees. My advice is very simple. Kana ine zita yekuti ndiye school fees, let's not touch that stash. Ngaigare yakadaro, whoever is keeping that stash ngatisava pai pressure, because unogona kumupa pressure munhu okupa maria yonorohwa nekandege.
Imagine.
Yonorohwa nekandege, bosi kandege kanodonha zvokudaro ende kanoshamisira pamari yakadaro. Pamari yokuti haina basa kanombofamba, but kana yamari yokuti ine zita yanga ichinzi ndeye stand
ine zvairifana kuita
ndege inodonha weekend kudonha kuti pu pasi. So it's very important for us to recognize some of those good reasons why people keep stashes. So it's not about just accusing your spouse kuti anochengeta mari yandisingazive, anenge ane mari yake munhu pastor yandisingazive. As long as there's a good reason to it, I believe it's a good stash. Because mwako atoziva kuti umwe wangu akangona iripo chete yakutoenda gambling. So that makes it a good reason for one to stash money. Having that personal or secret saving that is unknown to their spouse. So that's reason number one. Then reason number two, vamwe vanostasha mari, they keep money secretly because of financial insecurity. Kungonzwa kuti handisi secure panapa financially, kana kuti hatisi secure financially panapa. And also because of that, the trauma. Because the insecurity, let me say this, because a lot of people fight over nyadzima insecurities, whether we're talking about money or other things. Ukanzwa kunzi munhu ane insecurity, don't accuse them of that insecurity. Try to understand it, what brought that insecurity. Chii chakakonzeresa that insecurity. Maybe someone is insecure because I've been, involved in multiple affairs. So definitely they are going to be insecure. Because married haisi kumboti kwanira tikuramba tichidzokera pazero tichingonyura muzvikwereti tichita sei, someone is going to be insecure about all that. Because takamboita mari ikapera zvisinganzwisisike, someone is going to be insecure about that. So the next time pavanobata mari, they're going to make sure that they stash that money, because they're simply responding to their insecurity, their financial insecurity. And I always say that insecurity, on its, ukaitarisa cheche weekend, it's not bad. Because some of us, we are quick to crucify vanhu insecurities. Securities ake. But it's important for us to understand, number one, and they also show us that we have issues that are underlying that we need to deal with. So insecurities come to help us, to help repair relationship or to help deal with fundamental problems that we face as a couple. So kana munhu ane financial insecurities, it means there's a history, there's a past trauma, there's a past, or maybe some grew up in poverty. Saka panoona mari, mupfungwa makarungwa kuti mari iyi ndikasaichengeta inotoenda, and I'm back again in poverty. So their insecurity is coming from that, is informed by that past, by that fact that they grew up in poverty, or they've experienced betrayal at some point. Zvazvokuti wambo betrayal when it comes to finance, because ndokune mama betrayals anenge ariko kuti tabata mari yedu tobva tabvumirana kuti let's buy ABCD, and then we don't do that.
Exactly.
That is also a form of betrayal, just as bad as the other betrayal that we know of. So that's the reason why people end up stashing money, vakuchengeta mari isingazikanwi, because they don't want to go through that cycle of trauma. Yokutraumatizwa nokuti mari tambenge tinayo ndobva yaenda. So they want to see it there. They want it there where they can see it. So they'd rather have a stash. So I want you to understand your spouse, how they are thinking when they are, having these stashes. That's how they are thinking. Then number 3, lack of financial trust chaichayo. Kungonzwa kuti mwangu ndoko unamtrust pane zvinhu zvese. But when it comes to money, I can't trust them. Uyu nemari havakwanisa kugarisana. It's just like you can't trust maybe your husband or your wife, maybe your friend. There are people that can't trust their spouses, nemabruru or certain kind of people. So likewise, when it comes to money, there are people that simply cannot trust their spouses. Kumsiya nemari, inotopera. Especially when they understand their personality, good uyu munhu ndisaver and ndispender, sorry. They will go all the way to have stashes, because they know kuti vanhu ava mari nemunhu havagarisani, pano mwana unotopera. Saka it then comes to them naturally kuti I must keep a stash because I don't trust mwangu financially, because trust comes in many faces. You may trust your person regarding other things, but financially unogona kusatrust mwako. Kuna vanhu vasinganetsane over nyaya dze-infidelity and all those things, but vanozonetsana nenyaya yemari because there is no financial trust. So we must build that financial trust in the same way we are building that trust that we know of. Yokuti ndo trust munhu wangu, whether aenda kupi, I still trust them that they're not going to have an affair. So the same applies when it comes to money. Let's build that trust when it comes to money. How do we build that trust? Obviously, transparency has to be there. We have to be transparent, and we have to create what we call financial intimacy. And that's a subject, excuse me, for another day. So we'll talk about that some other day, because, when it comes to money, weekend, there's just a lot. Consult on Arambane, there's just a lot. Today we are just talking about stashing. Realizing kuti mwako ane mari yakawanda yausingazive, dutu remari, saga remari.
Imagine finding out,
You begin to ask yourself
what else, because I guess you would then be asking yourself, what else are they hiding from
exactly.
me? If they can hide this big amount, this huge amount, and what's the motivation of them hiding it, and you ask yourself, is it an exit plan? What's happening? Are they planning another life?
That's true.
It causes a strain.
That's true. Are they planning another life?
Yeah.
If they can do this secretly, what more can they do? Maybe because that's it. That's how people think. I believe with financial infidelity, because we call it financial infidelity.
It has a name, financial infidelity.
Yeah, if you don't share financial transactions with your spouse, the financial infidelity. And financial infidelity is the young one of that infidelity that we know of. No matangiranta infidelity. Because if I have a stash somewhere and this stash is not known, I can simply finance other extracurricular activities. But if the money that I have is known by my spouse, I will not even remove a single dollar, because I know nchabvunzwa yanga iri 99, ya 98 say. So lack of financial trust. Then fourthly, there are some that do it because of just a sense of emergency preparedness. You know what, I know I'm secure, I know I'm prepared for any eventuality. If I have something stashed chiripa side, if I have something under the mattress, then I know I'm okay. I can sleep zvakanaka njizauti. If anything happens, pakata urwere, we have something that we're keeping as a stash. Then fifthly, that fear of financial irresponsibility on the part of their spouse. Kungozinzwa kuti umwe wangu haakwanisi kuchengeta mari, therefore let me keep it. And for me, I think this is a good reason, because pampacho zvinonakidza weekend ka surprise kokunzi baby, let me show you the money that I've been keeping.
Wow.
Pamari yangu wachindipa yokuti ndiende ku saloon ndachingobvisa $10 nchisa paside. And now we have enough to buy our own stand.
Wow.
Now we have enough to buy another car or our first car.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when you are married to someone that you know that they are financially irresponsible, we know each other as couples. You know my weakness, and you know that's how marriage is. When you are married to someone, you are vulnerable to them, so they know kuti mwangu are financially irresponsible, and they've I believe so. Could they have a right to stash some money, you know, that will actually be of good later on in life. So that's another reason. Then obviously the big one, cultural influence. This is a huge topic. My kitchen parties at Trinitaya, my bridal showers. We get taught a very important module. You must keep a little something. Maria just in case money. Mukadzi wese ngagarane yake pa side. I think it's a big module. You know, kuma kitchen party and all. And I'm for that because can I use to batsira later? I have no problem with that.
Or can I use on the batsira later?
Kuzobatsirani?
Kuzondibatsirawo.
You as the wife?
Yes,
yeah,
Maria Chona.
Of course.
Didn't it?
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Keep it. Let's have those stashes. Let's have those stashes. But again, there are things that you need to consider. Hopefully, I will have time to talk about that. And having a stash is not wrong. But there are certain things, certain fundamentals that you must not get wrong. It then defeats the whole purpose of having a stash. So cultural influences, because this is the knowledge that has been passed down from mother to daughter, shingodaru. Kutunufa ukusungira kamari kako, even kamari kako ke imagines, and it's good. In I have no problem with that. Then there's also that fear of judgment or fear of conflict. Yokuti mwangu kazawati, this is how much I'm getting and this is how I'm spending money. Yo, ndino judge ko. So I would rather keep my financial transactions to me, to myself, and do to mwangu receive. And there are people that then end up having stashes because they don't want to be judged. The fear of conflict. That's why, you know, couples, manyeperana vanoita mudzimba weekend. There are people that actually, you know, under declare. Says to my border.
Yes.
And not Zimbabwean borders. And then they under declare. Kuti kana chachita 1,000 unzonza ndachwana chakachipa and negotiate chakata 500.
Yes.
They don't want to be judged.
Yeah.
So they under declare, they under invoice. So that doesn't look like a big purchase. Because they know probably the spouse that they're dealing with, they're going to judge them. So they end up having a stash so that they can have what they want at the end of the day, because they don't want to be stopped from getting what they want. So most couples are guilty of that. I'm just saying it as it is. A lot of us couples, I'm sure even me and my wife, we have also under-declared some things, I'm sure, at some point.
Yeah.
Because most couples are guilty of this, and my couples are Tunazera now. This is what they do. Then there's also financial independence. You know, when you have come money per side, you feel a sense of independence, financial independence. Yes, that's the reason why even Chojinda Obasa weekend, if you're getting maybe, for instance, you get 5,000 US, even ukaonza yes on the table, we must have a principle that says, yes, I'm bringing everything to the table, but I must also remain with something. So that if I want to buy anything, we don't have to call for a board meeting. Board meeting to
skincare or something. You know, that liberty to be able to purchase, to make purchases.
So that level of financial independence is fine. It's perfect. We call it financial autonomy. Financial autonomy, which is very important. I think I'll teach on that another day because it's very essential. I don't believe good. Once I marry my wife, then they stop going to work. Kumangwana, if something happens, what are they going to do? So there must be a degree of financial autonomy so that they'll also be able to fend for themselves in the event that I end up in Siripanupanik. Then there's also a reason why certain spouses then stash money or keep money that comes into the home. It's because spouse wake uyu anozoita fund their secret habits or addictions. And also there are some spouses that actually stash money because they want to use it for funding secret habits and addictions.
And that's the thing, eh? And we're running out of time. I really want you to get more into that because it's a thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Pastor Simba, thank you so much. We're also live on Facebook. You can go watch and share with someone as well. For those who want to get in touch with you, Pastor Simba, your details.
Okay, please up me on 0773 000 0773 000. I just need your name and your marital status so that I can add you to one of my broadcast lists. I've got a broadcast list for singles and another one for marrieds. So I need to know your marital status. So every Monday I send a message to the marrieds, and every Saturday I try to send a message to the singles so that they don't make the mistakes that some married people made
on a weekend. Thank you so much, Pastor Siba. I am V Candy. Remember, tomorrow belongs to God. Check your time with mine. 12 midday time for Now in Dub.
Toll-free number